everybody. Happy Monday. I am Kid Cadet, joined always by Danica Janelle. How you doing?
Hello. Pretty well.
Good. Well, things are about to get even better. We're about to bring out our special guest. Since we only have him for about 30 minutes, we're going to bring him right out. So here we go. Introducing first. He is the incredible, the one and only Chris Jericho.
Hey, wow, how's it going? You know, it's funny. I started using StreamYard, but I don't know how to use these graphics. So if you teach me that afterwards, they're very cool.
Done. Cool. We got you, fam.
All right.
All right. Joining us next, of course, you've seen him before. You'll see him again. It's the one and only Joey Fatone.
Oh, look, it's me again, everybody. What's going on? Come on, Chris Jericho.
Hey, I love it. The almighty fat one.
I was going to change a bunch of other things, but that was the cleanest one.
That's great.
Well, thank you guys so much for doing this. Danica and I both thought this would be really cool because, you know, while there is a lot of differences in both of your careers, there's also a lot of parallels for both of you guys as well. So I want to start with, let's start with Chris. Being in a big rock band, what do you think was the biggest misconceptions about boy bands?
I think the biggest misconceptions, even if you go back to the Beatles, I mean, the very first boy band, so to speak, is that they weren't talented. And if you go through the years of from Beatles to like the Bay City Rollers and Duran Duran, I remember when I was in junior high school, I hated Duran Duran because all the girls loved them. I mean, you know, you got all these super hot guys and all that other stuff. And then you think, well, because they're so good looking, they can't possibly play. So I think that's probably the same misconception with boy bands too. And I know that it is that they're lip syncing or they don't have talent. But meanwhile, if you really look into it, if you have any, roll, it's like a Rubik's Cube here. If you have any idea what talent is, you'll know that all those guys are in those bands for a reason. And it's because they can fucking sing and they can sing great. And the harmonies that all the bands, NSYNC and Backstreet, and the harmonies is what, as a musician, I would always hear and go, wow, that's hard to do. So not just because you're here, but much respect to Joey and all the guys who were in the big bands over the years, for sure.
And I guess the same question to you, Joey, would be, what do you think was the biggest misconception about being in a rock and roll band?
Sex, drugs, and alcohol and party and everything. There's a lot of times it's not even like that. Not for everybody. Not for everyone. Some. Not for everyone.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure. Listen, I'm sure you guys had all of those things as well in your respective bands too.
Well, and it's the same thing. I think it's the same thing what Chris has to say. Believe it or not, because sometimes you'll see these people like, oh, they're just a garage band. They just don't know how to play like their one little things, but. Some of them are absolutely amazing musicians. You know, they know how to play guitar. They know how to play drums. They know how to play keyboard. They actually produce. So a lot of those, I think some of the misconceptions of certain people, like for instance, Dave Grohl is one that you would, at first when you saw him back in the day with Nirvana, you kind of like, all right, just Dave Grohl and drumming. Then he's with Foo Fighters and he writes and he does everything. He's very intuitive to a lot of different styles and different genres of music that he adapts to, which is pretty freaking cool.
Right.
Awesome. Okay, Danica, did you want to ask?
Yeah. So we know that you're both obviously very busy men, and you take on a lot of different projects.
I can't hear you.
Again? Oh, man, Joey!
It's your fault.
But what you say, just repeat it.
I can repeat it. What did you say? If you can't hear her, go ahead.
So you take on a lot of different projects, and you recreate yourself, reinvent yourselves a lot.
You take on a lot of different projects, and you recreate yourselves in many different ways, Joey.
Thank you, Chris.
So what would you say are the most, what motivates you to remain reinventive and, you know, take on more challenging projects that are very different from things you've done in the past?
What motivates you to take on different projects and diversify yourself?
That's just it. It's different. You know, as far as being in a studio, when you're in a recording studio, you know, you kind of hone in, you're in your little kind of get up thing and you're doing different things, you're being creative. When you're doing something like Broadway, obviously, it's more of a bigger ensemble per se. You're kind of getting, if it's an original, doing Broadway to doing shows to hosting now. I've been hosting a game show on Game Show Network. So I love the fact I'm not completely stuck and tied down to one thing day in and day out. So I got a chance to do other things. And the cool thing about it is it's very flexible, meaning like for instance, the Game Show Network that I do, the Common Knowledge game, we shoot that usually in 4 weeks and we're done. We do 130 episodes, done, finished. So then I can move on to another project, even though it is grueling doing 130 episodes in 4 weeks. We do 6 shows a day. It's crazy. But right after that's done, I can do a completely different project and get my mind off of that, which is great.
And I think one of the cool things about that, and speaking kind of where Joey left off, is that when you diversify yourself, that's the true secret. And when you've been in show business for a long time, I'm not sure how old you guys were when you started, Joey. Teenagers, 19, 20?
17.
So yeah, and I started in the wrestling business when I was 19, but I also always wanted to be in a band as well. So I never saw myself just as a wrestler. I saw myself as an entertainer. So when you start as young as Joey and I did, I'm pointing over there, but I mean to point over here. It's like being a weatherman. You learn early on that if you want to have longevity in show business, you have to diversify. Because if you don't, you'll here today, gone later today, as David Lee Roth used to say. So it's very smart to expand. And when you grow up in this business, you really, it's like show business boot camp. You learn a little bit of everything: how to be on camera, how to be behind the scenes, how to write a song, how to sing a song, how to do an interview, how to be charismatic, how to keep something flowing as an interviewing guest. Is having my own podcast, I know the difference between a good guest and a bad guest.
Right.
I don't ever want to be a bad guest. So you learn these things over the years, and that enables you to go have a game show. We've both hosted game shows and whatever, all these other things that we've done, and to continue to accept projects that expand our brand by doing things that we feel very comfortable doing.
Right. And I think it's amazing, especially coming from your side, Chris, as far as it's almost like more than not even just a triple threat, because you're acting in a sense, you're wrestling, you're improving, you have to make sure that your performance, you're an athlete on top of that. So you guys have like that's a whole nother level, that something that I don't think I would ever fathom to try to to figure out, unless obviously getting into it, rehearse, practice, I get it. But you guys do every night and all the time when you guys are doing your stuff. It's crazy. It's insane.
But that's the thing.
You're constantly going.
And you're right. It's just another form of show business. It really is, because once again, yes, there's a lot of athleticism, but there's a lot of athleticism, doing a 2-hour NSYNC show with all the dance routines that you guys used to do and stuff. So your choreography is the same as the choreography that we have to do, and also just improvising as to whatever the fans are giving you. You kind of adjust and go from there as well. So there is a dichotomy between wrestling and rock and roll and any type of live performing, comedian, a freaking Broadway play, all that sort of stuff. So like I said, once you learn how to connect with an audience, that's when you become a moneymaker, because people want to feel connected to you. And if you can do that, you'll always have a gig.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. And I know you just brought up again, and Joey had already mentioned, he's done these amazing roles on Broadway. Chris, have you ever been in a Broadway show, or is that something you ever think you'd like to try?
It's so funny. I've been thinking about it for years, because that's something that I really want to do. That's awesome. I was just watching the finale of Schitt's Creek the other day, where they had their little Broadway play or whatever it was. And I was like, I called my agent, my manager. Agent sounds so pretend, my manager.
Right.
And I was like, dude, I want to do Broadway. Not now, but in 5 years, when my kids grow up and leave the house, and I can spend, 6 months in New York or 5 months?
Depends. Yeah, it depends on the contract, whether you do a 3, 6, or a year. I mean,
it's a long stint. Yeah. So, I mean, I was figuring that'd be kind of a cool next step, because I've done all the other stuff, and it's all connected. That's one of the things. Have you done Dancing with the Stars yet, Joey?
I have. That was season 4.
There you go. Wow. Like, what is it? Like 37 seasons ago?
Something like that. Exactly. 800. I have no idea. It's crazy.
And I, when I did that show, I realized, like, obviously it's show business, so they have their slottings of what they're expecting people to do. And but because I was a musician and knew how to stay on the beat and syncopations and all that sort of stuff, then combine it with wrestling, where you know choreography and how to use your body, and then combine that with being a live performer, which a lot of people weren't. If you're on a TV show or reality show, you're never in front of a crowd. Right. So that's intimidating too. So for me, and I'm sure it's the same for you, it must have been even not easy. It's not easy, but even more familiar for you, because all the dance training that you had, and also being in front of a crowd.
Exactly. It's nerve-wracking, but yet you're like, okay, I know my left from my right. And I always say that. People are like, oh, you're a dancer. I'm like, well, I've never really done ballroom, nor have I done Latin dancing. So
different. That's right.
It's completely it completely throws me for a loop. I was messing shit up left and right, just due to the fact that I was never didn't know what the posture was and everything. So learning all that stuff was.
And also, if you have a tour where you're doing the same routine every night, you've got 3 months to rehearse it. Here, you got 6 days to rehearse it, and it's 3 minutes long, and it better fucking be good, or you're gone.
Exactly.
You know, so it was a whole different ball of wax.
What show you think you would do a musical though? I'm interested to know. You know?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now. I know that years ago I saw Sebastian Bach do Jekyll and Hyde.
So did I.
Someone in the comments just suggested Jekyll and Hyde. They said you would also rock
Jason
it.
Barker said that from Facebook. Yes.
There you go. And Will said Jesus Christ Superstar, which is my favorite musical. So
thank you. So something like that, Hair, something with more of a rock and roll edge for sure, because that's my voice. I mean, I'm not I can't sing clean. It's got to be some balls in there for me to nail it. I mean, that's cool too, you know. So there's a lot of different options that I would consider, but just the fact it's like, what would Chris Jericho do next? And there'll be 20 things between then, as I'm sure you get, Joey, different projects that come across your desk. But that's something that I really have a focus on that I'd like to do at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Has there ever been a project that either of you guys have turned down because it's just been too insane?
They went through this phase about probably 10 years ago where there was like, it started with Celebrity Apprentice and Dancing with the Stars, where there would be celebrity everything. And a celebrity magician. These are all real things. He probably knows. Celebrity magician.
How fun.
Celebrity like rodeo riding.
Ice skating.
Yes, I remember Vince Neil did the ice skating. But here's one that I bet you might not remember. It was celebrity diving, high diving.
Yes, Joey Lawrence did it.
There you go.
He was hosting, right?
Louis Anderson, and it was called Splash. And they send you this pitch where it's like, we would like to give you an offer to be on the NBC series Splash. And I'm like, celebrity high diving? It's like, you will be strung up by hooks and pulleys for the next 6 weeks to train for this. Greg Louganis is going to be there, and this guy's going to be there. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no way. Like, it takes you years to learn how to do this stuff. And just because I'm a celebrity, I'm going to be great at it. I'm like, there's certain things you got to just turn down. It's too much, you know?
Yeah, they did the celebrity wife swap. They've asked me one time.
Yeah.
I've been asked a bunch of different ones. Different ones.
Yeah.
The Splash one is definitely very, it's right up there. I saw the ice skating one, though, too. That was
another one. Yeah, certain things. Like, I understand. Listen, and here was my idea behind that. If my career kind of stalls and, you know, there's not any newer things coming up that are exciting, then I'm going to do every single one of those. I'll be celebrity butcher. I'll be celebrity tree climber. I'll be a total celebrity whore just to get on TV at that point. But until that happens, I'm gonna keep things the way I'm doing it now.
You're good. like certain things though that I've got, like for instance, Masked Singer, when they approached it to me to do that.
Yes.
I knew it was a silly show, but I knew it was going to be a great show. You know what I mean? I knew it was going to be, there was people going to be excited about it. So for me, it was one of those ones, just like you said, but sometimes you're like, you know what? That seems like fun. And what is it going to hurt? It's not hurting my career. It's like,
right.
It's just a competition where it's fun. It's lighthearted. It's not crazy. And people get to hear me sing by myself. So it was a little different.
It's funny. I got asked to do that whenever 3 years ago, and I was like, "That's stupid. There's no way that's gonna work." And then the next year, I'm like, "Get him on the phone. I gotta do it."
Do you know like what your costume would have been?
I don't know. I never got that far. I'm just thinking that doesn't make any sense. You know, like I said, it sounds like celebrity diving to me. Forget it. And boy, was I wrong. So if you're watching Masked Singer, which I'm sure you are,
they're tuned in right now. I think Bret Michaels was just eliminated, right? Is that who was on? Sorry, no.
He was on?
Yeah, he was on. He just got, yeah.
See, that's when it becomes a thing.
I knew it was him.
Did you? Yeah.
Well, he had like the bandana and everything and like the hair. I mean, he looked like Bret Michaels as a banana. So, I mean, you know it's you, boo. All right, since you both already brought up Dancing with the Stars, which dance would you say was the toughest to learn?
It was probably like the there's a few of them actually. The waltz for me was a little difficult. The reason why is because I always like doing the jive and stuff that's fast because it's easier in my process in my brain. And then to take it to where you're literally rising, falling with your feet, and you're doing this, and you're like, it's like, oh my gosh, and I was always sometimes a little bit ahead or not doing the proper. I think it started on 3 or something like that. The time was a little different, but that and samba. Samba was a little difficult because certain things we were doing, certain things that we did a reverse samba roll is what it's called, and it killed me because your feet are going one way and then your body is going around another way. It's really weird. But to try to do that with somebody that you're basically on top of them, it's not easy to do. So like those were kind of difficult for me, but they were fun. I mean, again, I had fun doing it.
Yeah, I always like Joey. I had problems with the Latin dances because when you're talking about the quick step, the Venetian waltz, and the paso doble, even though that's a Latin style dance, it's much more frenetic and frantic. Whereas like the rumba and the samba, those are like the real shake your hips. And I was not good at those. I was good at the ones where it was like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Yeah,
and 5, 6,
go,
7,
go. Exactly.
Right. That's much more of a rhythm and blues thing rather than a Latino thing. And I'm from Canada. I'm the furthest thing from being a Latino that there ever is. So,
can you imagine thinking years ago, you'd be like, you know what, I'm going to be talking on a show about dancing and sambas and stuff.
Yeah.
Would you ever think about that? You know what I mean? It's just so funny. And the people like tuning in going, what the hell is he talking about?
What? But that's the cool thing, like we mentioned, when you keep your mind open to doing different things, that's where the diversity comes from. So you can go on a GalaxyCon, talk show with Joey Fatone and speak about Latino dances.
Yeah, who knew?
From two guys that both did Dancing with the Stars, right?
How cool is this? But when we start talking about dancing, and I know Danica might kill me for this. I apologize, Danica. We want to learn how to do the Flimflam dance. If you could give us a little taste, Jericho, so we can all maybe learn it.
I don't even so I'll explain it to people that don't know. Is that on AEW, on Dynamite, because we're in quarantine, we taped a bunch of shows and then we're putting them together as tape shows. So to keep things going, we're submitting new content. So I've been doing this thing called the Bubbly Bunch with my faction, the Inner Circle. So last week I was trying to think of what to do. So I said, well, we'll have a dance contest, like a TikTok challenge, but we can't call it TikTok. We'll call it Flimflam. So let's do that's whoever does the best Flimflam wins a container of hand sanitizer. And so I created the Flimflam dance that we all did. And then the next day we said to everybody on our social media, submit your own Flimflam dances. We had like 575 people, and it's really stupid. It's like this. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Like everybody, so you got it. You should see people, including the guys in my own faction. I got like a 6'5", undefeated MMA fighter who wrestles with us too. He's like, dude, you better make it easy. It's like, there's nothing easier than that. He goes, I can't do it. You can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, clap. But that's half the fun of it, right? So we did create the Flimflam dance.
I will have to learn that now.
Yes. Next for the reunion, the reunion tour.
And Joey, while we're at it, can you teach us like a sit down version of the hands from Bye Bye Bye?
There it is. You ready?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Wow.
It's like the head, pump that fist, head, ain't said that. Bye. It's weird to sit down and do it. It really is.
Right?
If the sound was off there, I would think you were doing your Jaws imitation. Just
it's amazing how this actually got my house. It got me my car. It's amazing. this one gesture.
That yellow thing behind you right now, whatever that is, it got you that.
This is my. Well, I have to have it outside, but this is actually a lot of fun, and it's probably wrong to do. But it's an assault gun. You put salt in it. And you kill mosquitoes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It shoots salt at them and kills them.
There must be very small pellets of salt to be able to hit those.
Well, it shoots out so fast that it hurts. No, legit. It's like air pushing through. It hurts. It's no joke.
I'm sure. Yeah, for sure. Well, see, there you go. This got you that.
Wow. Okay.
Got me this glass too.
Chug.
That's Patron in there too, by the way, guys.
Vodka.
Oh, nice. I feel like a baby. I got the stupid White Claw, so I've switched to vodka.
I have nothing.
Rival.
My clothes are good.
Yeah, cheers.
That doesn't make
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. All right. Hey.
But before we get to our game, I don't have any mind of this. I know you both were recently on Ridiculousness, correct?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just did it. Yeah, not too long ago.
What would you say was your most embarrassing moment that was caught on tape?
I don't. It's funny because things have changed over the years to where now everybody has a cell phone. So pretty much daily embarrassing things gets caught on the phone. It was much more fun 10 years ago when you could do these stupid things and go out at night and not have, 18 phones documenting you. Like, you get in a fight with somebody. I can't remember what it was like a couple of years ago. Long story short, somebody asked me for an autograph. I had just come out of a memorial for a friend. I didn't think it was appropriate. I start yelling at the guy. The guy wants to continue on. Then there's a big screaming, yelling match. And then the next day when you see it, I look like the asshole. And it's like, it's not the case. Don't show the whole thing.
It didn't show the whole thing.
And show the 15 drinks that I had in the years of, whatever. But anytime you get caught on camera as a celebrity, you got to be careful, because if you do anything now, they'll catch it and they'll edit it, and then you're done.
Oh yeah, I've had one where, and you could see
Thanks,
my
Michael.
face actually change. I was walking out of the Roosevelt Hotel for Beach's Madhouse, and as I was leaving, these two girls were driving in, and they're like, "Oh, it's Joey. Can we come out and take a picture?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So TMZ was there, so they had a camera, and one girl standing there on one side, the other girl standing on the other side. I'm about to take the picture, and nobody's taking the picture because they don't have the camera. But the camera guy with the video from TMZ said, "Oh, I'll take the picture," and he has the camera's hand, and the girl goes, "Hey, why don't you show him what you got pierced?" So the other girl goes, "Oh yeah, I got my boot," and takes her boot right out. Click. And I was like, but it was one of those weird moments. I was like, nice boob, but I was like, and it's odd. And now on top of that, that's on TMZ. So now I got to explain to my kids. I told at the time she was a little young, I was like, Brianna, you're gonna see me on TMZ, and there is a boob. There's a girl taking a boob out next to me. I'm just letting you know what the deal is. That you could see my face, that it wasn't cool. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that.
It's the worst. NSYNC member partying all night long, solicits boob shot from innocent woman. Oh,
wow,
terrible.
But stuff like that. I mean, I've done so many. One time I was doing a show singing the only song I actually sang as far as in the concert, Celebration. And as I'm going down the ramp, I'm supposed to sing, and it's on video where I'm walking down and I slip, and I legit fall on my back, and I'm like, and it's the first line to sing, and I'm like, what do I do? And I'm laying there, and I'm like, all right, I'll just kick. So I'm kicking my legs up, going, there's a party going on. We just started dancing on the floor, and then I finally got up and moved around. So
see, that you just got to do those sort of things, man.
Roll with the punches.
That's right, exactly.
Okay, so at this time, we are going to get to our game, and we have graphics. So we are going to bring up the graphic, and we are going to explain it. Let's bring it up again. So,
look at that.
This is called cover band. We are going to show you a band, and all of the faces have been replaced by both of your faces.
All right.
You're going to have to tell us what band it is, and as an extra bonus, if you could come up with what the cover band name would be that features Chris Jericho and Joey Fatone.
Gotcha.
So here we go. Cover band number 1. What band is this?
Green Day.
I don't. What is it?
Green Day.
Got it.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's
I
Green
think
Day.
so, right? It's Green Day, right?
With Joey's extra long neck for some reason in this picture. So what do you think would be like your cover band name instead of Green Day?
Mope, dope, and no hope.
There you go. That was quick. Good.
Right off the handle.
Okay. Number 2.
What's up with my neck? That's Guar.
Guar. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
But can we just
But
take
there's
a
a
moment
bunny.
to appreciate all the members of Guar? Because these are very, very beautiful.
I like the super liger Guar in the middle there.
Look at the feet.
We have the masked singer,
Yeah.
Joey Fatone Bunny. Okay.
Perfect.
What do we call that band?
Guarico.
Oh,
Jericho.
I like that.
Joey Guarico.
I don't even know what the hell I'd call that. Organized chaos. Completely different. I don't know. Bunnies are us. I have no idea. We eat bunnies. That's what they
All
call it.
Number 3.
Daryl Hall and John.
Oh man, that's it. All notes perfect.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Patonico.
Joeyco.
I like it. And also in true TMZ style, you have your chest out. So there we go.
God, look at that hair. At least I got a nice chest. I'm sexy.
Gall and bloats.
All right, next one. Here we go.
Oh, even better. No Town.
No Town.
We also have to mention that when
Is that NSYNC?
No, that's O-Town.
Oh, it is O-Town.
That is O-Town. Yeah.
No
That's what I
Town.
said. It's
Perfect.
No-Town.
No Town.
when my husband was making the graphic,
Hilarious.
when I showed Danica earlier, she's like, "Is that Johnny Knoxville on the end?" I'm like, "No."
No.
Jericho.
That's
It's like
hilarious.
a guy from Sum
Why would you put
41.
it at that?
The guy that David Schwimmer is in there. Looks like a Gabe Kaplan, Kevin Bacon. Who's the red guy?
I don't know. He looks like it's all squished up though because of the hat. That's funny. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's the name of the group. That's the Ramones, right?
Oh, perfect, man. There you go. The Fatones.
The Fatones. Yeah, there you go.
Easy.
Crazy.
I'm dying to get a shirt like that. I want to get it made, and I drew it up, but I haven't made it yet. Though.
Just
It does
Fatones?
say Fatones, but it has all it says like my parents' name and my dad's name. My
That's
kids'
great.
name. It's pretty funny.
Fatones. Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay, next one.
that is awesome. Look at the hair. Ah,
Oh, Steel Panther.
Steel Panther.
Yeah, Steel Panther.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so what would a Steel Panther band?
Gosh,
Hmm.
we actually look better than the real Steel Panther.
Hell yeah, we do. I look better than Sticks It In You.
Yeah, I know. I kind of look like Michael Starr. Actually, it's kind of funny. Right?
People are like, who the hell are those people? We're naming the group actually.
I know,
It's funny.
exactly.
What would you call that? Buns and hoses.
All right.
Oh my.
I can't wait to hear that debut
One
album.
more.
Is there one more or two more? Let's see what we got.
Yeah, let's see.
All right.
Oh, this one, of course.
Oh, Bee Gees
Bee
for
Gees.
sure.
Nice.
Look at Maurice.
That's
He
awesome.
looks like the kid from Mask.
Rocky Dennis.
I'm walking things over.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, the BJs.
Yeah. Hey, wait a minute. Lance should be in that group.
Hey-o.
Yo.
Shit.
Hey, he's my friend. I can say that shit.
Yeah, of course.
I also want to point out that when Heather showed me this
Good.
one, she said, "Look, the guy on the
Did we
far
lose you?
right, he looks like Haley Joel Fatone."
Oh, I can't hear.
Oh.
Haley Joel Fatone, she said. The guy here.
Okay. Damn, I
Maurice.
can't hear you.
All right, next one.
My heart's broken.
Oh my gosh. The Wiggles?
Yep.
Wow.
Now, since Jericho, you are in shape. If it was all me, it would be called the Jiggles.
There you go.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
I got booted off. Sorry.
I'll take this. Well, they're watching, Joey. The Wiggles are everywhere.
Oh darn! I can't hear nobody. I'll be back.
I think
Okay.
they're Scientologists. They're everywhere.
All right, since he's signing off, and I know we only have you for another few minutes, Chris. I know you have a lot of things coming up. I know you're staying super busy even during quarantine. So can we talk about your cruise that is coming up next year?
Yeah, I mean, we did two. There, he's back. He's back.
Once somebody calls me, it's a wrap because I'm on my phone. My daughter just called and it just goes. "Brett." I'm like, "Ah."
Yeah, I mean, Fozzy played the Kiss cruise a few years ago when I was we were done with it. I called my partner and I was like, I want to do a cruise. I can do a rock and wrestling cruise. So that's the triple whammy. It's our third one, and it's crazy because last year was totally sold out, and it's rock and roll, and it's live wrestling at sea and comedians and everything like that. And then our cruise was January 20th to the 24th. And when we got off, we just started hearing about this strange virus called the coronavirus, which a month later, every cruise was like done. So we were really lucky. And when we were talking about the triple whammy, if you see it's February 1st, 2021, we're thinking, do we still go with this? And we're like, you know what? Fuck it, man. That's 9 months away.
You got some time.
And people need to have something to look forward to. So we didn't know, like, will people care? And we've gotten like literally 8,000 people signed up to try and get on this cruise. That's 2,500 people. So hopefully we can do it and have a great time and leave all of this shitty last few months behind us.
All right.
So yeah, it's great. It was a total blast and just another one of those things. If you have that we talked about earlier, the diversity. Okay, I want to have my own cruise. How do we go about doing this? And then it took me 3 years to get it rolling. But once you got it rolling, it became a thing. So that's what you got to do. Have a belief and make it happen.
Didn't some of the jokers go on there with you?
They did. Yeah, year one was the Jokers. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I go on their cruise every year. They told me about how awesome they had a great time.
They're great guys, man. Yeah, they're great guys. Well, I just realized that I text Q the other day and he totally ghosted me. Thanks for reminding me. I can bring it
You're
up.
not alone. You're not alone. Trust
Maybe he changed his number.
That
That's what
son of a gun never freaking answers his text messages. He's horrible. Trust me, he's horrible.
Wow.
I texted him a couple days ago. I never got a response either.
Now, there you see. Okay, so now you and I, Joey Co, we're coming after you, Q.
That's right, Q.
There you go, buddy.
Bastard.
And what about you, Joe? Any final thoughts? Anything you want to plug before we wrap it up?
Yeah, no, just what you plugged before. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now that I'm definitely gonna text Chris, and hopefully he doesn't ghost me because I still have your number if it's the same. I'm thinking about doing this show that I'm doing. I do a show basically. It's called What Does Joey Know, and we play music and we just guess the songs. That is it.
I love it.
And
we'll flip flop, and you can do Talk as Jericho, which we talked about 3 years
100%.
ago. But I'd love to talk to you about it. So see, you guys are bringing people. Look at Cadet right now. You can't believe he just brought us together. You're like an entertainment Cupid.
Twice now. You brought me with Jericho again, and then Danny.
There you go.
From Mean Girls. So it was really nice.
Oh my gosh. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I wish we had a million more hours that we could.
No problem. You know how this goes. I mean, we'll be around. I'm sure I'll be on again since I've already been on your show twice.
I know.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And cheers, guys. Stay safe and stay healthy, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks,
Bye,
Bye, guys.
Later, brother. Have a good one.
We will get back next Monday. Next Monday we have Dave Bautista and we have Mick Foley, and so that'll be awesome. So make sure.
Oh, Mick Foley's awesome. I love him.
Yeah, he actually performed my wedding ceremony, so we'll talk about that. But all right, guys, we'll see you guys real soon. Check out GalaxyCon.
He doesn't. You have to shut it off, Chris. Just and leave.
Okay.
Hit leave, Chris.
He's like, see you later. But yeah, check out GalaxyCon.com, and we will see.
I hope he leaves it on. All right. Take care, girls.
All good. Bye, Joey. All right, Danica, just you and me.
Thanks again for tuning into GalaxyCon Live. Make sure to check out our online store at galaxycon.myshopify.com, where you can find t-shirts, signed and certified Funko Pops, autographs, collectibles, and more. For updates on the upcoming streams, visit us on Facebook at GalaxyCon Live or galaxycon.com.